This is Meghan. Just gonna tell us her vision on what she wants to be in terms of her career and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when I was in third grade, I learned from a person once that when you're 8 years old, when you're in about the third grade, then that's when you know that you're what you want to be when you're older, what you want to contribute to the world is your occupation. You kind of figure it out when you're about 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But then what happens after you make this realization is that people come and say, oh no, you don't want to do that, or you can't do that, or people that do that don't make money. So then you start to push it to the back of your mind and you're like, okay, I guess that's not going to work for me. I have to find something that's going to make me successful, or that my parents are going to be happy with, or that's more realistic or something. So anyways, when I was younger, when I was about 8 years old, I told everybody I wanted to be a psychiatrist. And at the time, what that meant to me, and I'm not a drug pusher, so I do not want to be a psychiatrist now, but at the time what that meant for me was, what I consider that to be was somebody who helped other people realize, their full potential and would talk things through with them, because I didn't really realize that psychiatrists don't talk at all. They just simply they just give drugs. I mean, it's a psychologist, but to me, psychiatrist was like the terminal degree, the doctoral degree, the highest. So since they were medical doctors, I was like, oh, well, I know I want to get the best degree, so so that was
exactly assistance.
Yeah. So then, of course, that I've always wanted to be in a helping profession, but a one-on-one sort of helping profession, be a motivator. So, but then people would tell me, oh, only crazy people become psychologists, because that's why they do that. It's because they themselves are crazy and they need to find the answers to their own problems. And I was like, oh, I don't feel like crazy, so maybe I don't want to do that. And just various things, so I was like, But anyways, it's been a long journey, and then of course I got sick, as we talked about, in high school. So I got really sick with Lyme disease, and I had to miss years of high school, and I was bedridden, and blah, blah, blah. It took me a few years to get over it. And what I found was that Western medicine wasn't equipped to deal with this chronic condition. Western medicine can be really amazing with acute injuries and traumatic,
or fixing broken bones.
Oh yeah, broken bones, or car injuries and surgeries. It's like, wow, this is amazing stuff that they can do. But when it's general conditions that a state of being that your body's in, the Western way of thinking is that, oh, okay, so what you have right now is chills and headache and throwing up. So let me give you a drug that'll bring down your temperature, and let me give you a drug that'll calm your stomach acid, treating the very symptom-based stuff. And it didn't work for me, because it was such a problem that was just infiltrating my whole body, and it was due to the condition of the terrain of my body, rather than due to, it wasn't, the symptoms weren't the problem, they were the manifestation of what was going on. And so I was on years of antibiotics, which did help clear up some of the bacteria. I have to admit, I do have to give some, it did contribute to making me feel better, but it also created a whole host of other complications. I'm now suffering, that I'm still working through, candida, which I have a total yeast and fungal overgrowth, because I was on these high-dose intravenous antibiotics for a while. High-dose killed all the bacteria, so now I have this total yeast fungal overgrowth. And so what I found was that I didn't start getting better myself until I started treating myself through my diet, which for me it started with my diet. That's what enabled me to, because when I was so sick I couldn't run, I wasn't active. But once I started changing the way I was eating, it gave me more energy, and it allowed me to start moving my body, and then that helped even further, and it allowed me to start thinking more positively, which of course that helped even further, and then it allowed me to open my mind to these consciousness and spiritual channels, to be like, which again they're all play an equal role, but the food was what sort of opened the doors for me, so that I could even tap into those resources, because had I not changed my diet, I wouldn't have been able to start first with physical activity, because I wasn't there. So
you decided.
Yeah, so I decided. So basically it was through finding my own path to wellness that I realized, okay, this is something I'm really passionate about learning about for myself. So I want to know these things for myself, but I also want to share that information with other people. And then it goes back to what I'm saying when I was younger. I wanted to be in a helping profession to help other people, and now what it's turned into being is that I want to help other people find wellness, and not so much focus on sickness, but focus on preventative care, holistic care, non-invasive care, and helping people realize that their body can heal themselves, but we just have to give it the tools in the right direction. So it took me a while to figure out exactly how I was going to do that, and I thought for a while, I could go into nursing because there's a nursing program in Austin. It would be pretty cheap, and but then I realized, and then I thought, I'd get a graduate degree in that, and then I'd maybe be able to be a practitioner and have my own spin on it. But I realized I wasn't going to learn in school what I wanted to learn, so it's taken me a while to figure out that naturopathy school was the route that I really wanted to take. And it's been years that I have been going back and forth. I was like, it's so expensive. I'm not sure if I can invest all that time. But it's now it just came to me from various reasons, but that I wanted to become a naturopath. It's like the perfect combination of helping people who find wellness, who are either sick or maybe people who don't even consider themselves to be sick people, because so many people are living day to day with these symptoms that they consider to be normal. It's like having lack of energy, fatigue.
Let's shoot for part